Sky's the limit at this point.
Yep. So I also want to give a big welcome to everyone watching here on Speed Gaming, everyone on the Speed Racing TV site watching along, everyone on YouTube after the match, and all our people listening in on Randomizer Radio AM 710, The Split. And this is the only text box.
And indeed, starting off with a little bit of love right off the bat there. No sword in hand, so no sword to give.
However, we are going to see what Uncle does have in just a moment is the Fire Rod. So, like the Cane's, magic use is definitely going to be something you have to concern yourself with. Although the Fire Rod is going to do a lot, although that single arrow, not so much. Both runners do get a bomb drop, so that's going to help them in the sewers area, at least.
Yes, indeed.
So both our runners on their practice princess saving mission. At least they got that single arrow out of the way early. Don't have to worry about that trolling them somewhere else.
Very much so. We're going to see what they find down here in the... I guess you could call it the jail. It is technically
the dungeon.
The dungeon. It's a dungeon, and it's also technically a dungeon in the game files. Basically Dungeon 0 for all intents purposes.
And we have the maps. That's one other item we won't have to worry about.
That does mean they're going to open up that Sanka chest when they get there.
So both these runners are 5 and 2. You can see how well they're just moving, sticking next to the walls when they can, getting a little bit of extra sub-pixels with each step. Just general movement is so important to getting a really good time, and so underrated when you don't think about it. And there's the sewer key, so that's another thing our runners aren't going to have to worry about.
Yeah, it's going to be items from here on out.
Just the good stuff here. Also going to be slightly interesting to see, Elminster is going to go with the Fire Rod strats, and both our runners are going to go with Fire Rod, not thinking they need to conserve that much magic, because they do get a heart container in Zelda's chest. So from here, it's mostly a straight shot back to the sewers on their way to Sanctuary, making very good time of it. This should be close to a sub-6 escape if they don't have any troubles with Key Rat.
Yeah, it should be pretty good. Both have a bomb too, so we'll get to see what's in the bombable room there on the left side once they get just past the dark rooms.
Yep, 3 items, and all 3 of them will be live.
Of course, it doesn't mean anything. Could mean that there's just a bunch of junk in there. Could be a whole bunch of progression. It's really kind of up in the air here with it being so early in the seed.
Yeah, there's still just so much we don't know. It's kind of hard to really make any early guesses as to what we're going to find yet. We also haven't had a map check. There's been a bit of a shift in the meta into checking the map during the escape. I'm not sure if that's just a player preference, they want to get the information out of the way, or if they think it saves time doing it now versus doing it some other point.
Yeah, I don't know if it saves too much time to do it during escape versus doing it after escape, especially when you get to the top flight runners who are usually able to kind of figure out the map at a glance. So I'm not sure if there is a time save there or not, but it could be interesting if there is even a minuscule one by doing it earlier rather than later.
Yeah, it probably just personal preferences. We have $50 in the chest in the sewers, so that's going to get us a lot closer to actually, I think that guarantees we'll have money for Bottle Merchant with the money that's in the well and in Blind's Hut.
Yep, just a matter of routing at that point to get the Blind's Hut, and actually Blind's Hut should be enough with it being 70.
Right.
Well,
Sciente's got 70. Elminster only got penny from his drops. But hopefully he'll get the big 20 he needs in one of these 3 chests. But we have Quake, we have a piece of heart, and we have a nickel. So he's going to have to grind up a little bit more money elsewhere. Or get lucky in one of the 10 chests.
Or, more likely than not, probably just do the well and Blind's Hut, and then wrap around to do Bottle Vendor after that. Which
Sciente's
well.
picking up an 8-pack of bombs, so he's not going to have to buy them. That's a really good for him. But Elminster at a 456 exit, and Sciente with the 550. And just another heart, not Sank Heart this time.
Yeah, indeed. Both runners going sub-6 on that, and we're getting a quick check there from Elminster.
And we have a red pendant at Desert, and it looked like 2 blue pendants, 7 and 3, at Tower of Hera and Eastern, respectively.
Indeed, nice teamwork there, because I caught the 2 crystals and did not catch a red pendant, so got each other's backs. That's how these co-commentaries work.
That's how they work. We also have a tree pole, and there's 4 bombs, so that's good for Elminster. That'll up his stash. And he may... And let's see what the Hoarder has. Just heart container, or just hearts. Not that great. And just a little bit of love at the Lumberjack Cave, so that's not going to be required. At least not for that, at least.
Yeah, not required for an item, but it may be required. Aga may be required for Dark World access, depending upon what items we pick up here throughout the rest of the early run.
Aga could also be required for a Pyramid Fairy access. That's something that's come in. And wait a minute, Mushroom in the Lost Woods. VTorp, are you sure this is randomized?
I would think so, but that is indeed the vanilla mushroom, not the little less popular actually than the chocolate and strawberry mushrooms.
Yes, and another 3-pack of bombs in the hut. Sciente, very interesting, made his way around. He's also already at the 10-bomb cap, so maybe he thought he would save time not having to do the fanfare.
I don't know about that. That is indeed interesting.
He's at his cap right now, so it's not like he would benefit from picking them up. But I'm not sure if how much time he had to waste to go around them was beneficial. But let's see what Blind's got in his basement.
Oh, we got a sync going on.
Yep, get your speed sync in chat.
Bow.
We have the bow. Oh! And +5 arrows, and a piece of heart. Let's see what's in the back. Just a big 20, okay. But that's going to be enough for 100 rupees on both sides.
Absolutely.
So, Blind's Progression Boutique here in Kakariko Village. Technically still need the lamp to logically complete Eastern, but both these runners, I'm sure, can go through those dark rooms without a problem. And even if they do get a little stuck, they have the fire rod to light the torches.
Yes, we'll get to see it at Eastern Palace. I'm sure those of you that have run this, picking up a heart there in the bomb wall chest. Elements are
and
they
got their 4th piece of heart in the first chest, and another arrow upgrade, and another big 20. So Z being very kind to him early, except for they don't have a sword yet. But Elminster pulling out his ocarina, he's going to route this in with the bottle vendor, which has another heart. So very healthy start to the seed.
And indeed, everybody, if you would please rise and remove your hats for the Swag Deck National Anthem. Thank you very much. But both runners, indeed, getting to route this in early, very efficient. And as I was about to mention, Eastern Palace, the dark rooms that they're going to go through in the front half are very easy. Almost everybody who runs this eventually learns those as kind of their first dark rooms that you get nailed down. They're not too hard to do. Back one's a little bit more difficult, but with that fire rod, they'll be able to light those torches and see the Igor that they need to kill.
Yes, the goose has been released safely after recovering.
Yes, the quail is out of jail. The goose is loose. The bird's the word. The hawk's gonna rock. And picking up the lift upgrade there.
Yes, the power glove is in the tavern apparently. So that opens up a few more things. If they find the moon pearl early, they can actually just backdoor into desert. Wouldn't need to because it's a pendant, but could actually just make the long bunny run.
Yeah, well, for that they're gonna have to find the second lift upgrade as well.
Right, you do need Titan's Mitts to get into it, not just Power Glove. Elminster gonna check the prize. saiontea going to just go straight in, find it's a blue mail, and Elminster says, no thanks, I don't want to waste the time. He is going straight to the dam.
Interesting choice. Yeah, interesting choice here, but not a bad idea. I think Sion will probably pick it up. You made the effort to get all the way out here. You might as well grab the mail.
Yeah, I mean, on one hand, it is 10 seconds or so out of the way. On the other hand, I mean, Elminster must feel really good about his combat to just have blue mail handed to him and say, nah, I don't need this. It's really going to come back to bite him if he takes a death or two.
Yep, that could certainly be the case. But we're seeing that it did give him a small advantage here, getting down to south of Hyrule, being able to check the dam real quick, and how on the way to Mini Moldorm Cave.
Yeah,
very likely use the fire rod and arrows.
This is about the 10 seconds that saiontea took to get to it. He's breaking out the bombs, at least to start. He might not have enough magic to get to burn the fire rod, especially given how erratically these mini Moldorms are, but he does manage to get it. He's gonna refill his bomb while he's here.
Just enough to do the trick. Meanwhile,
another arrow upgrade. A bomb refill.
Slight different method here, and getting 300 rupees as well there.
Yeah, so that lift upgrade puts King Zora into the logic, and he is rather close to having enough money for whatever the Master Con Man's packing.
Oh, whatever it is won't be good. It never is.
It never is. And Elminster going straight to Eastern this way. He'll check the Hospitalist hut on the path to him. So we may get an idea of what the green pendant is. saiontea doing his map check real quick, and it looks like he may have come to the same conclusion that Eastern is where you're gonna want to be.
Nope. Going nice.
Oh no, he's going Ice Rod Cave.
Ice Rod Cave, yeah.
And if he gets 24 rupees, he can fake flipper his way into Hobo and Zora's domain. So we do have a route divergence.
Don't know if he can fake flipper without the moon pearl though. We can fake flipper, but he can't do the water walk.
He can't do the water walk. He can still get to Zora, get Hobo.
Oh no.
Oh, but the hammer and Ice Rod Cave. Oh my goodness. That is the disadvantage. Ice Rod Cave is one of those places that's never easy to check, but when you decide to skip it, oh boy, and that's going to be a real pain for Elminster.
Yeah, it's up there.
saiontea is headed. Oh, he's going to turn into mushroom while he's up here.
Interesting. But yeah, it's up there with Graveyard Ledge, with shoot, what was the other one I was going to mention? Catfish. Just those locations that and a nice little trick there. saiontea doing a hard reset on that, getting the moon pearl for Elminster inside of Eastern Palace, so that's going to be Aga no more.
Well, and that's going to be Dark World access for Scion as soon as he gets up there with the hammer.
Yeah, Catfish, and Graveyard Ledge and Ice Rod Cave. These are all single locations that can be a pain in the butt to route in other times. And when they got something good that you need, like a hammer, and you don't have that, and your opponent does, boy, that's not a good time.
Yeah, there's just, like, Saiontea is going to have immediate access into the Dark World as soon as he checks that first chest in the Eastern. He's gonna, I'm sure, clear out the rest of it, but he's gonna have so many more options on what he wants to do afterwards.
And indeed, Cyan,
also,
yeah, holding on to that mushroom there with the hard reset to...
he can set up a fake powder clip. That's what,
exactly.
that's what he's got, yeah. That's, that's just knowing quirks of the randomizer and knowing how you can take advantage of them. He also has picked up his half magic, so that fire rod is going to be a very, very useful weapon now.
Elminster, meanwhile, now picking up the big key in Eastern Palace. Going to be going to open up that big chest. Let's see what's in here.
And hopefully Elminster realizes, like Saiontea did, that but with the having the flute so early, it's not that far out of the way to go and check Ice Rod Cave.
No, and I would imagine too, if we see Elminster check a whole bunch of other locations, he'll eventually likely go back there before going to Aga.
Yeah, with the Moon Pearl, he now has a much more compelling reason to go to Zora's domain if he manages to scare up the last 44 rupees you need to make the trip.
Right.
So that may end up saving him if he can come into enough money. But it's going to be very, very interesting to see how Saiontea decides to route this as a good D-boost by Elminster to get that third item.
Nicely done from both runners.
Actually, I believe we have the map and the compass already, so the Armos Knights will have the final item in this dungeon, I believe.
I believe so. Simon just picked up the compass in chest number 2, so with the map being in that big key chest, that would mean that the last item is indeed on Armos Knights, and we'll see both runners go ahead and do what Elminster's already done, which is to use that fire rod to light the torches, get through, kill the Igor that has the key, and then just head on back, take care of Armos Knights, get your first crystal, get your last item, and
just get your business taken care of. Although Elminster, he could have gone into that rupee room, which would have given him plenty of ammo to take care of business. Instead, he decided to just go through. It's another decision that might come back to bite him. We'll have to see later on, because eventually he does have to make that Ice Rod Cave play. And Elminster just textbook machine gunning those Armos Knights. Gets a big 20. Will bring him to 476, still 24 short of what he needs. Saiontea is... Saiontea might be a bit lost in one of the... Oh, no, he was in the key room.
Yeah, he's just going around and get the other one.
It is definitely a little awkward to be able to maneuver your way through that room without a sword. That's normally how you would orient yourself. And Elminster is realizing that Ice Rod Cave is in fact a location, so he's going to get his hammer, and crisis averted.
Indeed, huge crisis averted. That's going to mean that he'll maintain his slim little lead at the moment, but that is definitely good for Elminster fans out there. Hoping that he would realize that he needs to go back there.
Yeah, that's kind of important. I'm a little interested that he did not decide to fake flipper, because he would have had 3 locations to put together 24 rupees to get Zora's item. And even if he didn't, he could potentially farm the last couple off of the small Zoras, maybe?
He wants to go to Dark World.
Oh yeah, he's gonna check Hype Cave. And with with access sub 20 minutes, Hype Cave might actually still have some hype left. There's plenty to look for.
And keep in mind, we do have 2 pendants in the Dark World here, and two red crystals as well. So keep that in mind when we're checking the map. A lot of stuff to pick up.
And let's see what's here in Hype Cave. We have the flippers,
Okay, yeah.
so that'll point to Zora.
Indeed.
And the small shield, and the nickel,
and the silvers.
The 20,
Ooh.
and the silver arrows. All right.
Very nice.
All right, guys. Hype Cave still has some hype left. The Saiontea also machine gunning his way through those Armos Knights. He's got his first crystal, not that far behind. So Elminster going to turn in his mushroom, and let's see if he is probably going to go straight to Zora from here, now that the whole thing is entirely in logic for him. It's going to be interesting to see if he also does the same hard reset play that Saiontea did.
Yes.
All right.
Like he just did,
both
yes.
of our runners very much aware of the tricks of the randomizer. Very good. It's one of those things you wouldn't think to do in a lot of cases, but both our runners making this play. Saiontea is also going to pick up his flippers and his tiny shield and his silvers with this Hype Cave play. As Elminster is instead not going to Zora, he's going to Kakariko, as we do have a map check. Turtle Rock is the green pendant, Swamp is the blue. Important crystals are Thieves Town and Misery Mire.
And that will set up kind of an idea of what we need for Go Mode now, because we know what dungeons we have to complete to get the 7 crystals, and we know what is going to be needed to complete all the pendants.
Yes, so anything that's required for any of the pendant dungeons cannot be on the pedestal. So Turtle Rock being a pendant does lock out a lot of things. It locks out the King of Samaria, whatever medallion you need to get into Turtle Rock, the Fire Rod and the Ice Rod.
And then Swamp Palace being a item is also going to lock out Hookshot, so...
Yeah, Hookshot and the Flippers. Saiontea, it looks like he is heading to the Haunted Grove and paying old Stumpy a visit first.
Oh, Stumpy.
Gonna be interesting. Saiontea may be making a very interesting meta call here, and I cannot say that I disapprove. He may be thinking, like, everyone in the Z3 community knows how good Elminster is. Saiontea may be thinking that he's not on Elminster's level, but he can steal a win by making these awkward plays at awkward times and getting lucky, like that hammer at Ice Rod Cave. If Saiontea thinks that if Saiontea thinks he can't beat Elminster in a straight race, he may be on this line of, I'm going to check these out-of-the-way locations that Elminster never would and hope they pay off. As Elminster finds the lamp in Village of Outcasts. Saiontea with a lot of digging here at Alec Baldwin's digging game, only finding a red rupee as the prize.
Yeah, a little unfortunate for him to find there. And Stumpy only gave him a little bit of love. So Stumpy, once again, you've let us down.
Once again. But let's see where Saiontea decides to head out of Sanctuary. Meanwhile, Elminster in Thieves Town, this is an important crystal, and Saiontea is, going to Link's house. This may be... No, if he was playing for Zora, wouldn't he just warp the witch first? Curious as to where he's headed.
He's gonna check the stuff down here in Lake Hill. Go up and check Hobo,
he's gonna check.
And then
he's gonna check Zora and Hobo this way. Okay.
Yeah.
With big 20 on the floating island.
I like this idea, mostly because of the fact that you're going to be able to get 2 spots checked. You'll get item info on 1, and you'll get the clear on the Hobo here, and then you'll be able to go up and do the 4 chests that are up in the northeast corner of the map.
Yeah.
It's a sword.
Ooh, that is definitely useful. blind that Elminster's going to fight will not necessarily need a sword, I believe. I think the fire rod will get the job done. I think.
You know, I'm not sure on that. You
There's,
can do it with the hammer though, so it doesn't really matter.
Oh yeah,
yeah, you can use hammer on
hammer
that.
will do
He'll
it
be
for
fine.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Saiontea now going to flute to 8, getting closer to this portal up to Zora's domain.
One of the nice things too
Also,
about
Elminster with the hammer will be able to pick up whatever is in the big chest without having to double back.
Indeed, curses, you beat me to that discussion point. But yeah, indeed, we're gonna get a full clear of Thieves' Town here. So did we already find the small key? I think we've already found the small key.
We found
so
a
yeah.
small key, yeah.
Yes.
So
it is
in logic as we have
Oh.
the hook shot on the Zora ledge. So already, even if the Master Con Man is pulling his tricks again, still worth it to come up here. The hook shot again, not required for anything this seed, but it's just going to allow for much cleaner movement.
It's not really required, but unless you can hover, you're gonna need to get across the gap.
Oh right,
tower.
I didn't even think about that. You're gonna need it to get across Moldorm too.
Yep.
So Saiontea making these gambles, and so far they've been paying off. The hammer at the out of the way Ice Rod Cave, and now the hook shot here at the Zora ledge.
And the sword
it's
is
nothing that Elminster can't check, but he hasn't checked. And Elminster down to a heart and a half. Not gonna make comments about green mail versus blue yet, because a lot of the damage he's taken is been to traps that don't care about your mail color.
Skipping the heart for now, it's in that bottom left pot.
And Saiontea is going to backdoor his way through through Death Mountain to get the old man. With the sword, it's going to be a lot easier for him to track his position. Elminster, when he decides to make this, will have the lamp, so it'll be fully in logic for him.
Oh,
so and there's a sword in Blind's hut, so that's gonna be Master Sword for Saiontea once he makes that play.
and that's actually good. Very good for Saiontea once he dips into the Thieves' Town area, which may be something we see coming up here. But Saiontea does have a number of options available at this moment. In fact, Elminster
he also has a
has
penny from the old man's wallet, unfortunately, and just a map in the big chest.
But one of the things that Elminster now has with that sword is access to Skull Woods. So that was something that Sion had briefly there for a moment that Elminster didn't have. Of course, it's now been flip-flopped, and both runners can go ahead and dip in the Skull Woods here.
But Saiontea, he's gonna find the Titan's mitts on top of Spectacle Rock. But without the mirror, he can't pick them up. But you know what he can pick up? He can pick up all the items on the east side of Death Mountain. And if one of those is the mirror, he's golden.
Indeed,
with that
would be
hookshot
huge.
play, he's got access to the entire back half, and he can backdoor his way into Tower of Hera.
Incompleted as well. He's got everything he needs to get through that. So that's a crystal dungeon that can be completed here.
Speaking of crystal dungeon that can be completed, Elminster has finished Thieves' Town, but he is going to have to at some point go over to Zora and make up this difference.
Indeed. So you can get to see what's in Paradox Cave here. 7 chests to check for Sion.
He'll also have he'll also have a Spiral Cave he'll be able to check as well for an 8. He'll also be able to take a look at what's on the floating island, which if he can get the mirror to get to Mitts, he'll be able to access with that hook shot. And just another piece of heart. There's a shield upgrade. Elminster's going down with Baldwin's digging game. The rest of the Paradox Caves, we got powder. So no magic powder required, but a good effort to set it up regardless.
Indeed, they both could have just left the mushroom with the witch. That would have been very nice.
Yeah, but I mean, they have no way of knowing that.
Yeah, there's no way of knowing that. It's one of those things you gotta take that. You gotta take that risk that maybe you need the fake powder early. You never know what you're gonna find. Could have found Cancer Mario hiding somewhere, and that would open up fake powder. Let's see what's up on the floating island. Just a little bit of love. Cyan's gonna go ahead and skip Spiral Cave for the moment. Probably a wise decision.
This is a common routing decision. You do Tower Hera, then you come back for a Spiral Cave, as there's a chance that the boots are in Tower.
Indeed. Or perhaps the mirror's hiding out in Tower of Hera. You never know.
That is, again, very possible. Uh-oh, that's a small key in the... That's small key in the first room, so that's not exactly a good sign for what may be required here in Tower. Elminster is heading back to the eastern area. He's going to Pod.
Yep.
And we have the compass here, so we are going to have to make a trip into the basement of Tower.
We'll get to see Cyan set off the coffee break here, hopefully.
He's got the hook shot. It should be rather easy for him to do if he wants to.
He's going to use the fire rod to set it up, I think.
Right.
Oh,
he's just
facing the wrong way
dipping
there.
and ducking and dodging.
There you go.
It's because he doesn't want to take a hit while he's setting up. And small coffee break.
He gets stuck.
Oh, he may have gotten stuck. Yeah. Yeah, he's stuck, so that's going to have to be a save and quit, and that's going to cost him quite a bit of progress, because he's going to have to start at the old main cave, and he's going to have to do that loop around again. That is very unfortunate. Not what he needed at all.
Yeah, but he is going to go ahead and go back up to Tower of Hera, it looks like.
And at this point, he's kind of committed to it.
Well, Elminster finding a key on the left side there in Palace of Darkness, and therefore is not bow locked at the moment.
He's got the bow. That doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Durr.
Yeah, he wouldn't be bow locked, but he has the bow, so it's not like it matters.
That's true. I've done too many bow locked pod seeds lately. I'm sorry.
You're fine. You're fine.
Your brain just kind of gets in that point where it's like, oh, there's the mirror. Hi.
There it is in Pod. Okay. So that's going to give Elminster access to Mitts when he decides to go to Death Mountain. And that's going to open up a lot more. And that's Mire access if Mire's Quake. He'll need the Cancel Mario to complete it, but he'll be able to get in and check everything up to the big chest. Or up to the big key door.
Absolutely be able to clean up that front half there.
Of course, with it being a 5/6 crystal, it's probably going to wait till either has the cane or doesn't have better options. And saiontea has decided, let's not play that dangerous game with the crystal switches again. I'm just going to stab all these floating blocks.
That's fair enough. You know, you did it once, and it screwed up your thought process a little bit there. Just go ahead and take the super safe way.
Super safe, but also super slow, as Elminster is making his way through the rest of Pod.
And now he's going to pick up that big key after getting the refill.
Unfortunately, he will have to go up the normal way because the mirror is in Pod.
Yep, and with that blue mail, I'm not going to have nearly enough to set up a death warp either.
Not even remotely. But the good news is he is going to be able to start heading upstairs. And very nice being able to get that fire rod to just get enough reach to pick up the to hit that switch off screen. But Elminster, with all the money in the world right now, over 1,200 rupees. And it looks like Elminster's probably just going to do the dark maze, and then he'll probably mirror back and head on his way to the back half of Pod. It's also worth noting that saiontea does not, at this point, have the lamp, so he would have to do more dark strats, but I'm sure he'll check Thieves Town before doing any exploring elsewhere.
That it is. It's going to be very interesting to see what.
We do have a bottle pickup for Elm, so that'll get him a sick kid check, as we just have Lord Banana in the big chest.
All hail the Bloomerang.
saiontea bringing out the hammer for Moldorm. This is going to restrict him in one small way. If you're using a sword, it's almost impossible to get knocked off the platform as long as you hold your directional button against the way that Moldorm's trying to push you. The hammer doesn't have that protection, so hopefully he doesn't take a fall.
And it looks like he's being really super careful with when he goes in here.
Yeah, especially with this last hit. Bring out the sword. Oh, gets knocked off anyway.
That was really
Trollworm
close.
striking again. And as you can see, he's using that sword to keep himself up, even though he should, by all rights, be knocked off, as there's the kill on Moldorm. But what we know is that Scion is going to have to dip into Pod to get the Titan's Mitts to really open this seed up.
Absolutely. And we're seeing Elminster take care of the terrapins in this room. Very hard to do this room in the dark, so having a lamp is going to be a godsend for him.
Terrapins. That's a really good name for them. I may have to steal that.
I think that's actually what their name is in the game, which is why I mentioned that.
Well, the more you learn. Anyway, saiontea is going to check a Spiral Cave, the slow version. Elminster is going into a Helmasaur King fight, and with that silver arrow, just gonna knock that mask off, and then that's gonna be a very quick second half of the fight.
Yes, indeed. Halfway through, a couple more hits will take out the shield there, and just that
one
single
silver arrow.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Spiral Cave has for us the shovel. Alright, game, I see what you're going for. Just the map in Armos, or in Helmasaur King, my bad, as that if memory serves, Elminster left the vanilla big key chest when he went through Pod, so if he it's possible there's an item missing, although I thought we saw the compass, we may not have. If we didn't, then he's fine.
I think we've got a full clear of Pod, but yeah, I'm not sure if we saw that compass or not. Meanwhile, saiontea gonna dig up whatever's there, and it's just A5 capacity upgrade.
Meanwhile, Elminster is heading to the lost. He's gone backdoor his way into Village of Outcasts, as saiontea is going to do the same. So Elminster's probably going to head into Skull Woods after this. saiontea, he's got options.
Yeah, he could go do Skull Woods or Thieves Town at this point. Both are within the completable logic for him right now. So we may see. I think we'll see one or the other, probably.
I don't remember there being that much of value in Thieves Town, though. The only thing of note was the sword.
Indeed, just that sword upgrade. So we're going to see Scion go do Skull Woods at the moment. I think probably because it's a little bit quicker to get those two items out of there. But both those dungeons are crystal dungeons, so they will have to be completed. So. And
it seems both of our runners have come to the same conclusion that Skull Woods is the play and an early big key for Elminster.
Oh, it's nice to find. Unfortunately, If there's a small key in that chest, so saving the hassle of having to go through the side room there to pick up a key.
And we'll have a bomb jump here from Elminster to get to this big chest.
He's got
Very
it.
nicely done. And just the map. And of course, saiontea with the hook shot, able to get a little bit better movement tech in some of these locations.
It's definitely a very
useful tickle beam, I'll say that much.
very much. And since neither runner has the Cane of Samaria, they're going to have to use the statue pull strats, the intended path to do this.
saiontea clearing out the enemies beforehand, just give himself a little bit of safety, and just the compass in here. Although Elminster with the mirror that saiontea doesn't, he'll be able to, he won't have to go through all the rigmarole to get back. Oh, saiontea,
it's just gonna use the
taking the Wallmaster to get back, that's tack.
Mm-hmm. Nice little trick that you can use there. Sometimes you can use the game's enemies and traps to your advantage like that.
And Elminster is going to check this last chest before taking on Mothula. Can't say as I blame him. Both of our runners have a lot of health available to them. saiontea's is a little bit lower, but should still be fine because he does have the blue mail. Spikes, however, may be a problem.
And saiontea is going to go ahead and skip that first chest and just go to the back here.
I don't remember it being anything really notable, so nothing really lost there. I'm sure he will think to potentially check back as... Ooh, saiontea does pick up a fairy. That'll max him out.
It's always nice to find that. So both
both our runners synced again at 42 minutes.
Very nicely done.
And with the Fire Rod, half magic, and a mostly full magic bar, this shouldn't be too hard for them.
I don't know. I'm kind of worried about Elminster there with the mail. This could be bad.
I mean, the spikes don't care about the mail, though, so that wouldn't be a difference between the two.
Yeah, it's those beams. Oh. He's got one heart.
Yeah, Elminster getting hit by them pretty badly, having to do some dipping and dodging. saiontea does get it down.
Oh, no.
Oh, and that's the end of the Moth Radio Hour. Not the way Elminster wanted. saiontea picking up a heart from the Moth. So Elminster is going to have to run that one back. And yeah, the blue mail. Also, look at Elminster's magic and rather how little of it he's got. He's going to have to use the hammer and the fighter sword for a lot more of it than normal.
That's tough. And we're going to see him use Quake here to take care of the freeze him.
All right, that'll save him having to use the Fire Rod on them, so he'll just conserve a bit more of his magic. Meanwhile, saiontea is going to check this last chest, and found that it was nothing worth his time, so he's going to head on out. Of course, that is also time that Elminster will be able to make up. He can just mirror and then whistle away. Oh, Elminster pulling out the Golden Bee strats on Mothula this time. Fight bug with bug.
I'm not sure that's how that works. If Pokemon's taught me anything, it's not a...
No, Bug's not...
Against
Bug's not... dragons and ghost types would disagree with you.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right, I forget.
Also, I believe Bug is neutral to itself. But Elminster going from the top this time against Mothula. Saiontea is going to take a peek at Bumper Cave, just another piece of heart.
Always good to get that information on Bumper Cave to know if you need the magic cave or not.
There's the end of the Moth Radio Hour for Elminster.
They can have an extra heart. Very nicely done. After a first time didn't do so well. Second time took a little more cautiously, just kind of paying attention to where Mothula was and got through it a-okay. And Saiontea's going to pick up that lamp in the C-shaped house.
There it is. So Elminster is just going to mirror out. Without the book, there's no ped check, so he's just going to lose a couple of heroes to the thief, and then he's probably going to flute away unless he has something else he wants to do. And the Saiontea getting some profit off the chest game, 30 for 100. Elminster's going straight back into the Dark World.
Mm-hmm. Sion's going into Thieves Town here.
So what is Elminster's play here? He's done Digging Game. He's done Old Stumpy. He's done all the Village of Outcast stuff. Pilled out the mirror. That means Cave 45.
Mm-hmm. Could be the case.
I mean, that's the only place he didn't check along this route around the horn, except for the purple lunch. Oh no, he's turning in Sick Kid.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, because without Titan's Mitts, he can't get to the blacksmiths or the purple lunchbox. Sick Kid just has a nickel. And chat pointing out, yeah, he can do Mad Batter with no, he doesn't have the can Samari. He can't do fake powder. But he is going to go over, I assume, from here to Bumper Ledge. Then it'll be interesting to see what he does. With the mirror, he can check Graveyard Ledge too.
Yeah, he can check Graveyard Ledge. He can also go up to Death Mountain at some point here. Has not done that yet.
Yeah, and that's going to be very important for him because that's going to give him his Titan's Mitts. Almost thought he was going to mirror there and go Spectral Rock, but he's going to decide to peek in elsewhere, and that's more time that he's going to lose against Saiontea.
Because Sion's going to be going ahead and completing some of these dungeons now that Elminster's already been through. So Elminster's already been through Pod and Thieves Town, but Sion's already in Thieves Town right now.
And he's already done Hera.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they'll be tied on 4 crystals apiece. As for what we need for Go mode, not a lot really. We need the Cane of Samaria and whatever gets you into Mire, and I think that's it.
I believe
need the Cane
so.
for Mire. Yeah, well, they need the Mitts technically, but we know where they are. Saiontea knows where they are. Elminster, I'm sure, will find out where they are. Yeah, you need, and they have the Fire Rod that they need for Ice Palace. So yeah, they need the cane and whatever the medallion is for Mire, which they could check.
Elminster's going to get his hook shot here in a moment. He's going over to Catfish.
Catfish isn't going to give him anything though. Unless he routes it with Sora.
He hasn't done anything.
He has the mirror,
yet,
yeah.
So. Yep.
So he'll check Catfish, he'll go to Mirror, he'll get his hook shot. And that will get him all the goodies that were in that area. But he'll still be stuck on Fire Sword if he doesn't think to check Hobo along with that routing.
True, and perhaps we don't know, but maybe Catfish does have something important.
Yeah, Catfish could have something we need, although not a whole lot we need. Nobly, both our players did turn in the mushroom and did a hard reset, yes. So Saiontea is going to get his map out of the big chest and be hugely disappointed. And just a little bit of love for Elminster from the Catfish. Does give him a full refill, though.
It's a nicely timed refill.
Also, there is that 1 in 22 chance that the boots are required. Just saying.
That is true. Boy, boots could be on pedestal. That would be a nightmare, wouldn't it? You get through everything.
Boots probably could. Boots would be on pedestal only if there's not a required item on the desert torch.
Ah, yes. But yeah, that would be a nightmare if you don't have Boots Lock Desert and you go all the way through the game and then you get to that one torch in GT and the big key is sitting on there. You don't have boots, and the worst the worst place they could be at that point would be on pedestal.
So Saiontea's got his 4th crystal at the 50-minute mark. Elminster's got his little bit of love from the Master Con Man. Don't fall for it. He's playing the long game. But yeah, Saiontea is going to have to decide to, at some point, head over to Pod. Let's see what Elminster decides to do. He's got his flute out. He may be doing Ice Palace here. He flutes to 8.
No, he's gonna...
No, he's gonna do all the Death Mountain stuff. And with the lamp, this is fully in logic. Not that the old man had anything, and Saiontea is making the correct decision, going to Eastern. So they'll be pretty close to... They'll be pretty close to the same... they'll have the same 5 crystal dungeons down at probably about the same time. And Tower Hera definitely going to be a lot shorter, but he does have to do Tile Room, and he is also going to check Paradox Cave and all that beforehand. Actually, he might not check it beforehand. He may just grab Titan's Mitts and go and just make a run for it. But he's going to have to check. There's no way he doesn't check Paradox Cave and Spiral Cave before leaving this area. Just there's too many items that could be in play, even though he only needs 2. Also, with a bottle, I believe having a bottle does put Spike Cave into the logic, because this bottle, because pretty sure just with a bottle you can get through with almost any amount of hearts.
I believe
he doesn't he doesn't have a potion in there, but he could go and get one. But what he does have is his Titan's Mitts.
And what he's also about to have is a trip into Tower of Hera.
Unfortunately, Tower of Hera, once again, not exactly proven to be very fruitful, but it is required.
So that is going to be the one disadvantage that Sion's going to have right now. He's having to go back up to Death Mountain to get the Titan's Mitts. Elminster's already going to have that completed, and he's already going to have... he's going to be at 5 crystals before Sion is, so it'll be interesting to see if we see a gamble here, and maybe see Elminster try and say, I don't think that... it'll be a huge gamble, but... saying, I don't think that Candace Samaria is up here. I'm going to go to Ice Palace first.
That would be quite the gamble. I mean, Ice Palace, on one hand, Ice Palace has a knack for always having what you need in the last place you want to find it. On the other hand, this is... Ice Palace is a crystal, and it's usually Pendant Ice Palace that has the Lord of All progression, but you never know. It depends a lot on, probably more than anything else, how does Elminster feel? Does he think he's ahead or not? If he thinks he's ahead, he's probably going to make the safe play and check Paradox Cave and Spiral Cave, which we know isn't going to be any help, but it is just proper routing.
Indeed.
Saiontea is going to check this chest that in the vanilla has the big key, and I don't believe Elminster checked this.
It should just be a key. Yeah.
Okay.
Because Cyan doesn't know that the mirror's in the next chest that he's going to check. Or the one after this one.
I thought, yeah, it's the one at the front of the arena that has it.
Yes, that's the only one he hasn't checked up here yet, so...
Also, Elminster, I'm sure, because he's got the Titan's Mitts, he can check a Dark Death Mountain as well. So that's the 2 in Super Running Cave and the 4 in Hookshot Cave.
Yes, indeed. That's also a possibility here.
Yeah, so it makes a lot more sense for him to spend the time here in Death Mountain. So while Saiontea is going to have to double back, he would otherwise have had to check those locations.
Correct. So it won't be a too big of a loss here as far as time goes.
And Saiontea looking like that's some pause buffering. He's setting up a hammer jump.
Beautifully executed.
Very, very well done. That was textbook. And Elminster has to be careful against this Moldorm. Down to 2 hearts. Know what would really come in handy? Some mail.
He's like, I don't need that stupid mail.
Apparently, he does not, in fact, need that stupid mail. Probably didn't need that big 20 either, but he's not going to say no. Yeah, Saiontea is going to finish up these last 4 chests, the 2 in the horseshoe, this one above the horseshoe, and the harmless Hellaway, and then he'll probably make his beeline straight to Helmasaur. One other thing that may stymie Elminster, he is still on Fighter Sword. He's going to need to find a sword upgrade somewhere. We know one's at Hobo, but at this point, that's a really loose square that's not really conducive for him to check.
I feel like it would be conducive of him to check it, but only when he goes down to do Ice Palace. He'll probably check it then. Okay,
that makes sense. Meanwhile, Elminster opening the Turtle Rock portal, it's Bombos to get in, probably just as well, because even if he did have Bombos, he could open the door, but he couldn't get inside the gate. It does give him easy access to a hookshot cave, though. That's relevant.
Yes, indeed. He'll also have some easy access to get the 2 chests out of the Super Bunny Cave. Just has to go in through the exit.
Yep, so not that much here in Hookshot Cave yet. Just some love and some money and another bottle.
So we've both found Vitorp's bottle and Vitorp's love. Heading on Hookshot Cave. Yeah, he is indeed going to go through the exit to get to these 2 chests. And we've got Magic Cape and Piece of Heart.
Magic Cape's not completely useless. I mean, it's definitely going to make Spike Cape a much more attractive check, because he does have the invincibility item.
If we don't find another sword upgrade, it's going to be very useful, because you're going to need it for Ganon fight to be able to get those spins in safely.
Well, I mean, he's only on Fighter Sword. He needs to get at least one more regardless.
Right. I think maybe I was referring to just in general and overall. If he goes and checks Hobo, and that's the only one that we see for the rest of the game between the 2 of them. Yeah. So Cyan going ahead and taking care of Helmasaur King, getting those hammer hits in on the mask.
Dodging those, and there's that shovel for Elminster in the end of Spiral Cave. So let's see what he decides to do from... Oh, he's going to do Paradox Cave from here. So, correct. About now... Saiontea's got his mirror, he's got his 5th crystal. He's going to surely go to the old man. He's gonna flute to 1, and then pick up his Titan's Mitts, and then we'll be more or less all square.
Almost an hour in, we're gonna be all square. This is a great race between these two. Absolutely, make sure to give them both a follow, both Elminster and Cyan.
And both these guys are amazing runners. Saiontea only started rather recently, I believe, but he's absolutely proven himself here. As Elminster's picked up his powder. That actually does put the Mad Batter back in logic. That opens up and with the mirror and the hammer and the mitts, now we can do the whole South Shore, the whole loop around the horn with the Brocksmiths, Gary's Lunchbox, K45, all of that good stuff.
Going to Misery Mire.
Interesting. He is. Well, he's gonna check the shed as well. He can also check Desert Ledge and Checkerboard Cave for goodies. Meanwhile, Saiontea, right?
Go.
Yeah, he's getting his mitts. And what is the medallion? It is Bombos, it looks like.
Alright, so that's the one we don't have.
Yeah, so it's going to be Bombos, and it's going to be... It's going to be Bombos, and it's going to be... Cane of Samaria. Speaking of the Cane of Samaria.
Wow.
So we are in Bombos and Go. I've seen at least one race where the key is under the mat and here in Checkerboard Cave. Can Elminster have lightning strike twice?
Could certainly be the case. Yes, indeed. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. Bingo, bango, bongo. There's your combo. And Elminster in 1 hour, 1 minute, and 16 seconds is in Go mode.
Wow. So Elminster making the kind of a small gamble here to go into Mire and check these two locations is handsomely rewarded for it by getting everything he needs to blow through the rest of the seed.
And as is normally the case, once again...
He's missing one thing. He's missing one thing to be in true Go mode.
Of the boots.
Nope.
Oh, he needs a sword. You're right.
Yep.
So could he get bailed out with one of the 3 items here in Misery Mire? I believe Misery Mire's got 3 items, right?
2 items in Misery Mire, yes.
Plus C, in the right Mire Shed is the entrance to Lower Norfair.
So Cyan's going to go ahead and check all of these things here. Wonderful to see Cyan make the play to go ahead and check Misery Mire next, because that's the correct call. After finishing up Dark Death Mountain here.
Yeah, if he goes to Misery Mire, Saiontea will be in full Go mode, save for the boots.
Cyan, I think, is going to check Spike Cave.
Checking Spike Cave, yeah. And this doesn't surprise me. It's following that path of just checking these one-off, out-of-the-way places that he bets that Elminster isn't going to. And he's been rewarded twice. Can he go 3 for 3?
Boy, if this is a sword upgrade, this is absolutely not what Elminster would want to find. Because
oh yeah, because even if he does find one of them, the difference between Tempered Sword and Master Sword is pretty significant.
Yeah, it just bombs. So
yes.
very interesting to see where will Cyan go from here. What is
the correct play is Mire, Ice Palace, and he's going to the Mountain Cave. It's just for a refill. I'm sure he's gonna mirror somewhere else, and let's see where he mirrors to.
Let's see where he goes with Flute. Spike Duck takes him away to number 6, so he is going to make the same play.
I like the play, and he is going to love the play. And of course, there's also Desert Ledge that neither of them check that could have the boots or a sword.
Yes,
but Saiontea is going to see he needs Bombos. He's going to check in the shed. He's going to find the cane, and he's like, okay, so I just need this one thing.
And I would think that Checkerboard Cave would be a check immediately after that, because...
I mean, it would almost have to be, wouldn't it? Because he can't get into Mire, there's no other reason to stick around.
Yeah,
so,
it's one of those things...
unless he mirrors... Yeah, the worst thing for him to be would, oh, he's gonna check Desert Ledge. Don't flute away from this.
It's a heart. So no, he's not gonna flute away.
Just a heart. No, all right, he's going back. All right, saiontea.
Yep, he's gonna go ahead and check Checkerboard Cave and
All right.
Right.
So saiontea will be in officially go mode.
Yeah, so
Just
Sion's
shy
gonna
of
be.
number 5.
So yeah, Elminster technically, for us, is in no mode because he needs that sword still. But Sion is in full-blown go mode at 105 on the dot.
Yep, saving, of course, that 1 in 22 chance.
So perhaps at the moment, Elminster is gambling that he will find a sword upgrade going through Ice Palace.
And Ice Palace does not have that many items. It's going to be very interesting to see if he decides to take a look and find it.
Yeah, very interesting to see if he goes in a Desert Palace maybe here, looking for something.
He might. He's going to check the Desert Ledge.
Oh, he jumps off, so he's going to walk over to Agina's cave.
Alright, yeah, Agina's Cave, one of those very early accessible places. It's one of those places that you would have thought saiontea would have checked given all the other places he checked. But yeah, if this is a Master Sword or Boots, this could turn everything on its head.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of love.
So Elminster's got some thinking to do. Is he going to just gamble on Sword and Ice Palace? Is he going to spend time in the overworld? Or is he going to try something different?
Does he have a hook shot out to...
Oh
no.
He's going Turtle Rock.
Turtle Rock. Oh no.
I mean, this isn't the worst possible play for him, because in his mind, Turtle Rock has 6 items, and he can get all the way to Trinex with the items he has here. If he finds the Ice Rod, he could actually beat Trinex. The problem is that he doesn't know is that this is completely wasted time. I mean,
Yeah.
Ice Palace only has, I believe, 3 items.
Correct.
Compared to Turtle Rock 6.
Yes. Normally 5, but we do have the green pendant as well. If you can find the Ice Rod here, that will be your 6th item is the green pendant turn in.
Right. Chat also pointing out that it's possible that Elminster thinks this is the last crystal. I don't think he would have mismarked his map like that, but 1, stranger things have happened, and 2, if that is the case, the music will be a very quick tip-off for him at the very least.
Yes.
I mean, if you're going solely for item density, this and Swamp are much more attractive than Ice. Oh no! Elminster did think this was a crystal.
Oh. So he was setting everything up.
He was setting everything up, and yeah, thankfully the music giving him a bailout there.
So he's going down to Ice Palace.
So now he's going to Ice Palace. This makes a lot more sense.
Does he check Hobo? No.
And if he checks Hobo... he might check Hobo on the way out, though.
Right.
If he does not get a sword in here. But, yeah, Elminster definitely a little bit behind the 8 ball in the sense that he needs to find a sword. saiontea going into the Vitreous fight, just going to take some of those 47 silver arrows and machine gun these eyeballs. Then 2 for the big boy, and he's out the door.
Very nicely done from saiontea.
And
So
with
the
the silver arrows, it is rather easy.
I was about to say
first
the worst
item-
thing that Elminster could find in there would be the big key. because that would mean that Scion would immediately be able to use the bomb jump to launch himself to the Cold Stare fight.
Yeah, Elminster, probably the best thing he can find aside from a sword is the big key and its vanilla location.
Mm-hmm.
So saiontea not that far behind Elminster right now, and with the relevant item in his inventory.
One of the tough things even here is if Elminster finds a sword in here, if he finds it in the natural progression of chest you might check, saiontea might also pick it up, and that would be tempered versus master, and that's a huge time difference.
That is a huge time difference. Also, chat pointing out correctly that big key is only relevant for the big chest.
Right.
Ice Palace is one of those where you don't even need the big key to full clear it.
Oh, yeah, right.
So saiontea probably just going to beeline his way through the dungeon once he just gets enough keys that he needs. So Elm will probably have to full clear Ganon's tower looking for this sword if he's making this gamble. Unless he thinks to check Hobo right afterwards. There's a compass, so that's not the item, but I don't think Elminster is going to be checking anymore. And he's going straight to the boss. So saiontea setting up his bomb jump here. And gets it as Elminster into the Cold Stare fight. Half Magic and Bombos is going to make this trivial. They can just fire rod his way through the rest of them.
The Scion very, very close on Elminster's heels at this point.
Elminster almost went through his entire magic bar, but got the job done, and just 10 arrows on Cold Stare. That was kind of his last gasp.
Yeah, will be interesting to see what happens here. Because we
But
got two opportunities.
Elminster does have all 7 Triforces, so it's time to play a little game.
Yes, indeed.
There are 22 chests in Ganon's tower. One of them has the big key. Elminster is hoping one of them also has a sword, but we're only considering the big key. Oh, Elminster is making the play to Hobo. He's going to have his Master Sword, so all we're looking for is that big key. So there are 22 places it can be. Everyone get your guesses in now. Where is that big key?
This will be close.
Anyone who is... This is going to be very close. Anyone who is subscribed to the Speed Game Family Networks or has made a 250-bit donation will be eligible to get their name on the leaderboard. But yeah, Elminster is going to have a very slight lead, probably on the range of 20-25 seconds at most.
Yeah, if that.
And saiontea just blazing through that fight. So it's going to be a very, very tight race.
So it looks like with that hook shot out, we're going to see Elminster go through Turtle Rock to get to Ian's tower.
Yeah, that's the only portal that gets him up there, I believe. Like, you can't use the portal right below and get your way up.
Yeah, you could go through the climb from the bottom, but I could imagine that this is probably a lot easier. Yeah, especially because he's already...
Oh, interesting. saiontea is going to make a pit stop to load up some bottles. That's going to set him back a bit, but this might come in handy. Elminster's already had 1 death in this race, and if he has another... And keep in mind, this is still Green Tunic versus Blue Tunic. Elminster does not have that extra defense that saiontea does.
Indeed. So we will keep an eye on that timer for when Elminster goes in there.
It looks like it might be closer to 1 minute, but a 60-second lead is far from insurmountable. This could be left side, right side gamble. saiontea, with the way he's playing, might go right side with the Dark Magician route, but we'll see how it goes as Elminster getting the 7 crystals out.
So we are going to base this off of Elminster's chest opens here for those playing along with the guessing game, since he's going to be the first one in. He's going to be in at 1 hour, 14 minutes, 55 seconds. So the timer now for the gap will start for Scion. And Elminster going left first.
Yeah, he has to think he's in the lead. Just small key on the Bob Torch, so that's not going to be required. He's not even checking the 2 hope chests. That's very interesting, though.
Oh boy, that could be a bad gamble if it's in one of those chests, or if it's on right side and you have access.
It's one of those things you never even think about, the fact that everyone goes right side to check those. But, ooh, we got the boots on 2, we got a small key on 3, we got the big 20 on 4, got another small key on 5, you're out. So the boots were in GT, but not required. The saiontea is getting his crystals open. Looks like it's 69, 70 seconds, the delay. 6 firebar, 3 bombs.
Yep, it's going to be about 72 seconds between the 2 of them. Scion went in at 1:16:07, so...
And saiontea is going to check at least the 2 in the hope chest. Let's see if he... Well, if he doesn't get a small key, he's not going to be able to check the rest, but let's see what he decides to do. 50 bucks and ether. So nothing doing there. Cannot do the rest of right side. Coming up on chest 7 on Elminster screen in Fire Snake Room. And that's a miss there.
Randomizer room now, 4 more chests to open up.
Yep, normally 9 through 13, but here it's going to be 8, 9, 10, and 11. Chest 8, Cane of Burna. Chest 9, Piece of Heart. Chest 10, Piece of Heart. And a refill. Chest 11, the Compass.
We keep going.
And we play on.
So 4 more chests to check on this left side clear, and then it's all right side. If it's not, if it's not in these last 4 chests, it's either in tile room or it's in those right 4 side chests.
But the saiontea would not have had the ability to check those without the small key.
Nope.
So it's not like he had a choice in the matter.
Could have done Dark Magician strats, and that would have done that, but that's a game.
Oh, he couldn't even stolen the key from the Bob Torch. He didn't have boots yet. Would have been a huge time loss. Because we just have a big 20 there, so we've got Armos or we got right side. 14, you're out.
Right.
Elminster taking some damage from that last Armos. It's going to be interesting to see how he handles that.
Do we have vanilla key? Not yet.
Plus 5 bomb, upgrade, plus 3 bombs, gets out the mirror, big
Not
20,
yet.
It's right side.
Right side.
So that was 16, we have 17, and we have 18 here having ether, you're out. So 19, 20, 21, or 22 for the big winner. Chad also pointing out Elminster's down to 10 arrows. He's going to have to make sure he conserves them in, say, the gauntlet. He's also not exactly got a ton of magic available to him.
No, he's going to have to play, take some risks here as far as... There's 5 more for him, so that'll help out.
Yeah, but also that magic's going to have to pick up a full refill sooner rather than later. 18 3 bombs, 19 a heart, 20 a bottle.
21, 21. No, it's a
21
tile
green
room.
potion. Tile room it is. Saiontea, I'm sure he would have made that check if he was able to.
Oh,
but
absolutely.
no, he's going to have to go through things the hard way.
He may still make the check though. He might. We might
Yeah,
see.
he might do. He might do tile room first. Elminster is going to get a health refill, but look at how low he is on magic. And Saiontea's got 2 blue potions to reload himself. So Saiontea is mirrored out.
Here's another location where Cyan can make up some time here. If he
goes straight to tile room.
If he's got to bonk across to get that check here. Oh no, he's not gonna do it.
No, he's not gonna. He's not gonna check tile room first. And there it is.
So Elminster is in launch mode here. He is gonna get that key.
Oh, chat pointing out that green potion was in that last chest before needing to do tile room. Elminster will be able to get a magic refill.
Yes. So that will be helpful.
But we had a guess of 21 from, it looks like, Fred Hellion. Apologize if I'm mangling your name.
That's also one of the things. Elman tried to go pick up that key because he didn't grab the one that's in the room after it. He mirrored out.
Yeah, Saiontea did pick up that one. That's about a net, I think. So, yeah, Elm does have that green potion. He will have his magic refill when he needs it. And it looks like he is going to take a fairy refill just to top himself off. Oh, and there's a full magic refill in here.
Yes,
I didn't even think about that. Saiontea using the cape pull strat. If you use the cape and pull against a wall, it will not deplete your magic any. That's a good technique to know.
So the most difficult thing for Elminster coming up here, after going through the gauntlet, is going to be that Ganon fight. He's got half magic and a cape, so that's going to be immensely helpful.
Yeah, and he'll still have that green potion because he got the full magic refills. So it's going to come down to, can he execute? We know Elminster has run low percent. This is very doable for him, but I mean, he has to assume that with as free as everything was, Saiontea is right on his tail.
Yeah.
Elminster not going to hit that fairy, so he's going to go into this Landmo 2 with the silvers. Oh, gets the second on a high jump, but misses the third, so it's going to be a 2-cycle.
And away we go.
Elminster could still lose all of this time and more to a Moldorm 2 fall.
A Moldorm 2 fall or any sort of difficulty at any point here getting through the rest of the tower could just start to gnaw away at that.
Yeah, there is, as a Saiontea, taking an intentional hit so he can use the iframes to get all the way through that cannonball room. As he's in his gauntlet with silver arrows, gets a full magic drop too. And he's up to 37 arrows, so he can just machine gun these enemies as well, should he decide he wants to. But his sword's going to take care of it. So it's going to be interesting. Is Elminster going to check these last 2 chests hoping for a sword upgrade? He is. He's going to get 10 bombs from that one. He's going to get another small key that he needs, or he could have checked that chest. Saiontea going into the Landmo 2 fight. Almost gets the 1 cycle, but he's still got some work to do as well. Elminster re-upping on his health with all those anti-fairies being turned. There's the map. That's no help. Elminster's last hope for not having to do Master Sword Ganon is going to be the Moldorm 2 chest.
And
ooh, just be, plus 5 arrows.
Yep. It's going to be Master Sword Silver's fight for Ganon.
Yeah, still not the worst it could be. The Silver Arrows help immensely in that final phase. But he still has to execute, and that is far from a given. If you have saiontea busting out his lamp to light some of those up, as Elminster into the Yaga 2 fight. Just one on the first run. That was the double. And this could be set up. Can we go 1, 2, 3? No. He gets the 4 cycle though. And saiontea is also checking these last few chests. Again, like Elminster, hoping for that sword upgrade. Not going to provide this time. This is now Elminster's race to lose, although saiontea definitely gave him a run for it. A lot of chances where he could have taken this back, although, let's be honest, it's still not over yet. A fall to Ganon, this entire thing turns on its head. We've got some Landslug facts for you here in the Ganon fight, as saiontea just barely, and then takes a fall of the Landmola.
Yeah, a little unfortunate there for having the fall there on Moldorm.
He's gonna get it this time, it looks like. He's got his sword in the correct position. There's Moldorm 2 down. Elminster pulling out those that hook shot for the iframes.
Doing a very nice job here.
This is just where experience just pays off so much. He knows exactly where he can be to dodge those fire bats. He knows how they move. He knows how he needs to move. And this is why Elminster's one of the better players in the game, is he gets this really good pattern here, getting a lot more spins.
Absolutely. Just look at what he's doing with those hook shots pulls too. Amazing work here. Just timing them perfectly to get those iframes at just the right point. Absolutely amazing to watch him do this.
And he knows exactly what he needs to do and where he needs to be doing it. saiontea in the Yaga 2 fight, this is going to be a really close race regardless.
Indeed.
And the wizard is down for him. Now the dangerous part for Elminster. A fall and this all goes away.
Just got to keep it nice and clean here.
The Ganon not doing him any favors. All that warping.
Yeah, at this point, Elminster just has to really keep it nice and clean and safe. Did you find the arrows in Dork World? Yeah, they were in Hype Cave.
Yeah, that was pretty hype.
Getting those Landslug facts.
Elminster with the double. Setting up for a second one.
Double?
No, he's gonna set up, make sure he gets Torch Glitch. I like playing safe. And Game Shot in the first leg. Elminster has taken out Ganon. He'll be walking through that door, and he will be our race winner.
Very well done. Nicely executed, and did the whole thing on green mail. So that's green mail, Master Sword. Not a pleasant thing to have to do, even if you have the silvers. But boy, spam those emotes in Wild's chat, everybody. Because Elminster picked up race win number 1
with an official SRTV time of 1 hour, 28 minutes, 37 seconds.
Very nicely done.
Yeah, that was very well done. saiontea pulling out that cape. He knows he can get this done. His magic is not an issue. And we have ElminsterRTA here in the chat. Congratulations on your win.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. Congratulations. Boy, we were kind of uncertain once you passing up the mail there at the start that was hiding on the maze race ledge, but...
Yeah, you saw it and you decided, nah, I don't need any blue mail, and it was a really interesting decision to pass on something that was just sitting right there.
It wasn't just sitting right there, it was deep into the maze. I would have had to take like a minute to get it.
And saiontea made that play. saiontea made a bunch of plays that ended up giving him small advantages for the longest time, as that he's on the final phase of Ganon. Misses the torch glitch, but he should be okay. He found the hammer before you did. He found the fighter. He found the Master Sword at Hobo a lot earlier than you did, and he also went to Zora and found the hookshot before you did.
Yeah, I figured he would have gone Zora and Ice Rod right away.
Yep, but just the execution on the back end there, with a lot of the dungeon clearing and the overall routing really played to your advantage. Getting that mirror in Palace of Darkness, letting you get the Titansmiths really seemed to help out.
Yeah, you were able to pick up the Titansmiths a little bit before saiontea, who has his game shot in the first leg. An official SRTV time of 1 hour, 30 minutes, 42 seconds. So a little bit more than 2 minutes between the two of you. Still a very close race. But yeah, you actually did have that one death to a Mothula, and we were a little bit curious if that was going to turn the tide of things, but you just, like, the way you went through that tower, even with the big key in Tile Room, that was just masterful how you played that.
Thanks. I'm not sure if I know what you're referring to.
The biggest thing was the Ganon fight. The way you were able to, like, that Master Sword Ganon fight is not easy. You were just weaving through. I don't think you took any damage from the Firebat phase.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't. I made a pretty big mistake where I, for some reason, thought T-Rock was my last crystal instead of Ice.
Yeah, we saw that. We were wondering if you were just going to hunt Pendant T-Rock for your last, for the sword upgrade you needed to finish the game, and then, but then the music cue kind of bailed you out there at the end.
Yeah, I felt really silly after that.
I mean, it happens. Happens to... I'm sure it's happened to everyone who plays this game at least once.
I also should have known that I could have gone up Ganon's Tower with 0 keys, because I should have known that there was a key at the top.
But it's still a very, very good job. Let me take a quick look. When is your Game 2 with saiontea scheduled to go?
It'll be tomorrow, same time.
Alright, so anyone who wants to see if saiontea can level the series or if Elminster will punch his ticket to top 64, 4 o'clock Eastern here on the Speed Gaming family of networks. Let me take a minute and see what else we have coming down the pipes. But yeah, Tiger, anything you wanted to add about this race?
Not at the moment. It was just good execution from both of you guys, and it was absolutely a blast to watch race number 1 here. I assume race number 2 and race number 3 should race number 3 happen. You never know with these things. But the remainder of these matches are going to be excellent races and probably just as close. You guys definitely seem very well matched up for one another.
It does not look like we're going to be able to get saiontea in here for an interview, but still very well done on him. And hopefully we're going to see a very exciting match coming up tomorrow. Anyway, looking at the schedule we have on ALTTP Randomizer at 6:30, we have JTB and Chex Human. Also at 6:30 on this channel, Speed Gaming 5, Dude and Prior 57 will be facing off. Adirondack Break and In the Name of DT will be on the call for that game 1. Sunday, we have a whole slate of games, the 5:15, Dragon C0, and Mentos Man 8. And plenty more through the morning if you are not an early riser, through the afternoon, into the evening. And we're going to have more matches all through the rest of this week as we pare this 128-man field down to 64. So, is there anything else that either you two would like to add?
No, I think I'm good.
No, just a good reminder to follow both saiontea and Elminster.
And both these runners definitely deserve a follow. I'd also like to give a shout out not only to my commentary partner Nihon Tiger, but also to Kirito on the tracking, Cyclone on the restream, and as well to all the viewers here. You guys are the reason we have any of this to do at all. Thank you for all of the support you give us, and thank you for watching. So, Nihon, you ready to put this to bed?
Yes, indeed. So, once again, as always, everybody make sure to follow our runners. And thank you, of course, to Algernon and Kirito for being here as well. I guess I could say good afternoon, good evening, good night, good RNG, and we'll see you next time here on Speed Gaming. Till then, take care. Bye.
Have a good Saturday, everyone.